Greetings, 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 greetings. This is your brother Chief Kalanago Flying Eagle. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a minute since I've dropped a video, but right now I'm in London. Had to come spend some time with my granny, my grandmother. She turned well, she didn't turn. She's 92. And man, the experience is just so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She looks amazing. I mean, barely even any wrinkles on her face and her skin. I mean, I love it. I love it. I love it. But anyway, this video is to just briefly tell you the experience I had, when I got here to London. So as you guys, realize I was in Whitey Kubuli, aka Miss Noma Dominica, and I had a great time. A great time. And like I said in the videos, Dominica is a very rich country. In fact, Dominica is one of the richest countries in the world. However, the mentality of the people are poor because of the leadership. Whatever leadership that's probably in the past or the current, whatever the case is, the bottom line is the indigenous people of White Kubuli, aka Dominica, they have been misled and they're being oppressed. All right, and they are being enslaved. All right. Now, of course, that's my own, you know, um, observation. It's my observation. It's my opinion. Based on what I've seen. And I'm saying that with all due respect. To the people of Dominica, they can't. For the majority of them, can't see past the illusion and they can't see past the smoke screen because they got caught up in playing politics. But anyway, let's go back to my experience at the airport. So when I left New York, I flew straight from Brooklyn, JFK, straight into London. The flight at first they said was like about 7 hours and 15 minutes, but it was a little over 6 hours. The only thing is, we got stuck on the tar mat for like about 45 minutes. But when we got in the air, I mean, the flight was amazing. Got to the airport, I got in line because when you first get into the airport, then you have to, if you don't have an EU passport or a British passport, then you have to go in a different line. All right. So anyway, I got online and everybody, was going to, see each of the immigration custom officers, by turn. So when it was my turn, I walked up and the gentleman, he wanted my passport, gave him the passport. When he realized I had a Dominican passport, well, first, even before that, I gave him the passport and he said, well, where do you live? I said, I live in the US. Then he said, well, can you show me documents to show that you are actually going back to the US? So I gave him my documents for the US and then he gave it back to me and then he scanned the Dominican passport. But then before he gave it to me, well, actually, that's not true. Before he scanned the passport, he asked, he said, do you have a visa? Well, I said, or have you heard of the visa implementation? I said, I think I heard something about it, but I'd actually bought this ticket 2 months before the implementation of that visa rule. So he said, do you have any proof that you bought the ticket in, 2 months ago? So I had to go to my email, went to my email, pulled up the email and showed him the email with the actual date I purchased the ticket. All right. Then he said, listen, man, I really apologize. It's unfortunate that, the good citizens of Dominica, they have to go through this because of the government and what the government is doing with the passports. That's what he told me. And then he said, you're good to go. You're good to go. Have a great time. He asked me where I'm going to be staying at. I gave him the address for my grandmother, and he said, great. He said, have a great time. But for future reference, just know that after August something, he didn't quite mention a date, but he said after, I think the first or the second week in August, then you will need a visa to come back. If you're coming back, to, London, you would need, a visa. So I'm saying all that to say, it's like, Great Britain, literally went into so many countries around the world, not just in the Americas, but let's focus on the Americas. And they have enriched their empire, okay, with taking the resources from the Caribbean, the Americas, all the islands in the Americas, right? And one of the perks that the people of the islands, particularly Dominica, had was to be able to go to London without having a visa. Of course, you owe that to the people and more. Okay. The people should have been compensated for you for the enrichment of Great Britain, and in fact, the entire Europe continent, and now because of politics, the Dominicans or the people from Whitey Kubuli, they have lost that privilege because of corruption in the government. And yet still the people still support that type of corruption. They support these leaders. And then when these things happen to you, when you're being treated the way that you're being treated, when you're being stifled, when you're being taken advantage of, all right, when you have a government that's constantly keeping you in a poor state of mind and not giving you the ability or the opportunities to advance yourself. And when you look at all these different foreigners, the Chinese, the Arabs, the Syrians, all these different people that come to Dominica and they thrive. Okay, they become millionaires and billionaires, but yet still the indigenous people of Dominica, they are the ones struggling. Okay, they cannot pay their bills, they cannot buy food, and then if they do have relatives that live abroad, when they try to come back and send things to their families, then you want to charge them this high astronomical taxes for custom duties. And people are just too blind to see what's going on. So I'm saying you suffer because you choose to suffer. You suffer because you are allowing these things to happen. Now, if you go look at my video about there are two Dominicas, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see, in the Commonwealth of Dominica, the people are slaves to the country. It's a corporation. It's a nation state. It is not a country. It's a nation state. It's a corporation. You feel me? So people are slaves to the corporation and for the corporation. But if you go back again, look at the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, let me ask you once more, where is the Republic? You see, in the Republic, the government it has to work for the people, and therefore the people will be sovereign. The people of Dominica are not sovereign. They are slaves to the government. And Dominicans have to wake up. We have to wake up and see what's going on. We have to first identify the problem and then find the solution. And the solution is to put people in power, okay, that's going to work with us, for us, and not we working for them. Hence, they are called public servants. They are public servants. If we are the public, that means that they are our servants. And if they are our servants, that means that we are the masters. We are the kings and the queens, and they are there to serve us. And we have to comprehend this. Unless my people comprehend this basic, simple analogy I just gave you, then you, my people, are going to continue to suffer. Remember, the power is in our hands. All right? The power is in our hands. And we need a change, and it has to happen post haste. It has to happen immediately. So let's step up. We have to go back to the idea of loving our country again. We have to love Dominica. We have to fall in love with Whitey Kubuli. We have to love our country. We have to love our birthright. We have to love Dominica once more. All right? First, in fact, even before we do that, we have to love ourselves. Let us learn to love ourselves again. Then let us learn to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Stop competing with each other. Stop hating each other. All the animosity, the evil towards each other, we have to stop that. That's how we are going to thrive as a country. Okay? And once we do that, let us love our country. So therefore, when we stand on the principles of love, togetherness, unity, nobody could divide us, because together we are stronger. Okay? Divided, we're weak. And that's why we are suffering in Dominica. Dominica is too wealthy for the people to be poor. Okay? So just think on that. Do me a favor, share the videos, hit the subscribe button, like the videos. It's going to help with the algorithms. All right. And share the videos to the people of the other people in Dominica. Spread the message. Let them learn. Because once you learn the truth, okay, and you get the knowledge, then nobody will be able to bribe you. Nobody will be able to bribe you or buy you for pennies and a few dollars to put them in power and then turn around and make you poor. All right. We are going to change that. I love my people, and I'm going to continue to stand on the principles of equality, justice for every single Dominican, because we are the indigenous people of this country, and it's time to make a change. I love y'all for real. This is your brother, Chief Kalinago. Thank you. Share the videos and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the lives, okay? Thank you.